Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up exhausted, even though you slept?
Hi, I'm Irene. Welcome to Beyond Survival. This is a space where we slow down and learn how to feel safe in our own lives again.
Nothing terrible happened, nobody died, there wasn't a crisis, but somehow you feel drained, heavy, unmotivated. Like life is asking more from you than you have to give. And so you assume that the problem is energy. Maybe you need more sleep, more coffee, or a vacation, a supplement, or a more productive system. But what if the problem isn't that you don't have enough energy? What if the problem is that your energy is leaking? And most of us don't even notice where it's going. Because energy is rarely lost all at once. It disappears in tiny amounts. A little here, a little there, until one day you wake up and wonder why you don't feel like yourself anymore. Today, I want to talk about the hidden ways your energy gets stolen. Not by work, not by your schedule, but by things happening inside your mind. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Imagine you are living 10,000 years ago. Your brain has only one job: keep you alive. Watch for danger, stay alert, detect threats, conserve resources. That brain was brilliant. The problem is, you still have that same brain. But now, instead of lions, you have unread messages, deadlines, social media, news alerts, or family expectations, financial worries, notifications, or comparison. And your brain reacts to many of these things as if they are threats. Not because they are dangerous, but because they feel uncertain. And uncertainty consumes energy. The human brain hates uncertainty. It would rather have a bad answer than no answer. That's why your mind keeps looping. What did she mean by that text? What if this doesn't work? What if they don't like me? What if I fail? What if something goes wrong? You think you're solving a problem, but often you're just feeding anxiety. And anxiety is one of the biggest energy drains in the modern world. Not because something is happening, but because your nervous system is preparing for something that isn't even happening. Over and over and over again. I used to think energy come from doing things like exercise, nutrition, sleep. And yes, those actually matter. But eventually I noticed something strange. Some days I was physically rested, yet emotionally exhausted. Why? Because emotional labor consumes energy too, maybe even more than physical labor. Think about how much energy it takes to pretend that you're okay even though you're not. Or when you suppress frustration, or hide disappointment, avoid conflict, or overthink conversations, replay mistakes, worry about what other people think. None of these activities show up on your calendar, but they consume enormous amounts of energy. Your body may be sitting still, but your nervous system is running a marathon. And eventually, the bill comes due. That's why some people feel exhausted after a family gathering, or after scrolling social media, or after spending some time with certain people. The body knows when it's carrying emotional weight, even when the mind pretends everything is fine. This part surprised me. Many people think burnout comes from doing too much, and sometimes it does. But often, burnout comes from becoming someone that you're not. Think about it. If you spend years trying to be the strong one, the perfect one, the one who never needs help, or the one who always has it together, eventually you start performing an identity. And performance is expensive because now every interaction requires maintenance. You have to keep proving who you are, keep meeting expectations, keep carrying the image. And slowly, your energy goes toward maintaining a character instead of living your life. That's why some of the most successful people feel exhausted. They're not tired from the achievement, they're tired from self-abandonment. Most people think energy comes from rest, but that's only part of the story. Energy also comes from alignment. When your actions match your values, when your words match your truth, when your life feels congruent. Notice how energized you feel after an honest conversation, or after making a decision you've been avoiding, or after finally setting a boundary. Why? Because resistance consumes energy. Truth releases it. Every time you ignore what you know, you create internal friction. And friction is exhausting. If your energy has been low lately, don't start by asking, how do I become more productive? Ask, where is my energy going? What am I carrying that doesn't belong to me? What am I worrying about that I cannot control? What conversation am I avoiding? What version of myself am I trying so hard to maintain? Because sometimes the answer isn't more effort, it's less resistance. Sometimes healing isn't about adding more, it's removing what is draining you. The biggest lesson I've learned about energy is this: your energy is your life. Where your energy goes, your life goes. And if you don't consciously choose where it goes, something else will choose for you. Other people's expectations, old fears, old patterns. So maybe this week, instead of asking how to get more energy, ask a different question. What is stealing it? Because sometimes the fastest way to feel alive again isn't to gain more energy, it's to stop giving it away. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more conversations about self-awareness, emotional health, and coming home to yourself. And remember, protect your energy. you're protecting your life.